Look what happened. Look what happened just a couple of months ago. The legendary quarterback Brett Favre went to Capitol Hill and talked about that he's suffering now from Parkinson's disease that is linked to how many times he has been hit over and over and over again. And so that's sad. That is absolutely sad. What can we do? We cannot maybe stop that, but we can definitely make a dent and try to reduce that possibility.
Well, and to you stepping up to the plate, because it's not a new problem. I can't remember the movie that was made that focused on how many athletes.
Yes, and that movie, I think that movie that you're referring to was with Will Smith, and the movie was called Concussions, and it shows so many major football players having problems as they were getting older, and they really weren't that old.
Welcome to another episode of the Irreplaceable Dental Team. Now, I have a face you've seen before, and I tell you, he bowled us over the first time, but wait until you hear what he has to say this time around. Welcome, Sid. How are you today?
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me, Dr. Heather. And it's always a pleasure to be on your show, and very excited to be here.
Oh, we just can't wait to hear what new stuff you have to tell us today. Because last time you were here, everything felt almost revolutionary.
Yes.
The things that you shared that your product could do that absolutely nobody is doing. I just want to remind my audience that we were talking about your carbon fiber 3-layered stock it to me custom fit, not going nowhere. Mouthguards.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I would like to say hello to your audience. My name is Siegfried Settele, and I am the president and creator and founder of Xsport Mouthguards. We are the world's first 3D printed 3-layer carbon fiber infused mouthguards. And we have our products tested at major universities. There we are conducting impact absorption tests. And Heather, I would like to add the Ohio State University Mechanical Engineering Department, as we speak, are conducting tests on our mouthguard. And I was there last Friday at the Mechanical Engineering Department with the grad students and professors. The OSU Mechanical Engineering Department got a grant to test our mouthguard. So they're conducting this test. This is an independent test that they're conducting. We are watching this unfold as they are. They are completely in control of this test. And it's remarkable. Last Friday, we were there. They have this apparatus, Heather, that they take a mouthguard, and there's an anatomical jig that simulates human dentition. And they snap our mouthguard onto this anatomical jig, basically how the mouthguard would fit a human. And they take a hockey puck, and I think people know a hockey puck is almost like a rock. And they added 16 pounds to this hockey puck. And they raised this hockey puck with the 16 pounds about 2.5 to 3 feet. And then they shoot that onto the occlusal or the front, the labial portion of the mouthguard, simulating what a hockey puck would possibly hit a human. And it's going at 55 miles an hour, the hockey puck is, with 16 pounds backing it. And we saw that test last Friday, and I would like to share that and send that to you as well, that you can have copies of this. They're not done with the testing yet, but not only did we get an A++, they tested it 3 consecutive times. So the same mouthguard went through this incredible test, and it showed, because the human eye can't detect that at 55 miles an hour, right? But in slow motion on the computer, they broke it down. And what was incredible, Heather, we saw that the hockey puck bent, not our mouth guard. The hockey puck, yes. Incredible data. I couldn't believe it. And they did it 3 consecutive times. And then they checked our mouth guard to see if there was any, breakage or cracking or any damage, and there was none. So that was completely insane to see that. And they will be doing all the analytical data and write-up themselves. And it's very, very important that we say this is an independent testing. They're controlling 100% of this test. We are not. And I have to say, seeing it happen 3 times in a row, the same mouth guard, having a hockey puck shot at 55 miles an hour with 16 pounds, was incredible. And if our current model can withstand that, that is a major, feather in our cap. And like I said, we want to share this with the rest of the world.
Well, let me tell you why I find it mind-boggling. Because if someone hears that, they may be saying, oh my God, this thing must weigh 1,000 pounds. And it's the opposite. It's not weight. Can you share why this product could endure so much and still be almost light as a feather?
Yes, thanks for bringing that up. Our mouth guard is designed to allow more oxygen intake. So with the average consumer, they're probably scratching their head, so what is the big deal about this mouth guard? Well, it is designed to take less space. It's not as bulky. We are using materials, as the carbon fiber is light as a feather. So people ask me, what is the big deal of carbon fiber? Well, the big deal of carbon fiber is it's light as a feather, as I mentioned, and is 5 times stronger than stainless steel and 6 times stronger, Heather, than titanium.
Wow.
That's why we're using it. And once again, it's a 3-layer mouth guard. So the outside portion or the outside layer acts as a bumper on a car. It takes the force, the impact, and the energy and transmits it to our second layer of defense, which is this carbon fiber. That is our focal point. There, the energy gets dissipated as it goes to our third layer, which is a 3D printed ortho resin that fits precisely. And we're the only mouth guard, Heather, on the planet that will guarantee this fit for 12 months. No mouth guard company would ever say that, because they know in a matter of weeks that the mouth guard all of a sudden would become loose. They become ill-fitting. They're not very retentive. And then the consumer has to buy another one. And some people are chewing on these, as we see on TV all the time, and creating holes in them. And then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what type of athlete you are. You could be a weekend warrior, or you could be a LeBron James. They're chewing on them, they're putting holes in them. And athletes have come up to me, whether they're UFC fighters or wrestlers or boxers, and say, how many times do I have to replace this a month? Because our current mouth guard, I have to buy sometimes 2 or 3. And I go, you're spending more money on garbage than you would do on one mouth guard that's guaranteed for 12 months. And that's what they're blown away by. The precision fit actually snaps right into place. It's a very tight fit that gives any athlete the confidence to wear it as they perform. As I mentioned, it improves oxygen intake. And what's the big deal about that? Any athlete who has more oxygen intake, that alone will increase one's performance and one's endurance. And our lightweight design allows for better communication, Heather. We all know many sports are team-oriented sports. Communication is key. And the days of taking it in and out just to call a play in football, or having to talk to your coach or a referee or a team member, those days are over. You snap it in and you forget about it.
So in other words, Sig, it's a game changer.
Yes, it is.
Or the X factor.
Oh, you remembered all that. Yes, the X factor. Yes, indeed. Yes. So we're very proud of how much we have accomplished in a very short period of time. We have many athletes wearing it professionally, college, high school, and we're only starting. We're only starting. This is just the beginning, Heather.
Well, I took a peek at your website.
Okay.
And it's impressive to see that Tiki Barber
is
your spokesperson.
Yes, we signed. Yes, we connected, and Tiki Barber from the NFL is our face of Xsport. We have advertised with Tiki at Times Square in New York to kick off our program at the beginning of this year, and we are so proud to have him as a spokesperson. We have also added gold medal men's ski racers from the U.S. ski team, gold medalists. We have made mouth guards for Darren Ralphs. Darren Ralphs is the most decorated men's skier from the United States. He is number one. He's won the most medals. He's wearing our product. And also we just made one for another gold Olympian from the Nagano Olympics, Johnny Mosley. He is a fantastic athlete. He's also the ski ambassador from Squaw Valley or Palisades Ski Resort in Lake Tahoe, California. And we've attracted many UFC fighters and such. And as I mentioned, we are just getting started. We're coming up with sensors no one on the world is using. We added a neurologist to our team, and we will be able to detect TBIs with these sensors, traumatic brain injuries. Mom and dad will have the ability moving forward to see little Johnny or little Susie, if they take a traumatic hit, what actually happened. They may be able to get up and want to continue, but with these sensors, we will be able to detect that perhaps not only shouldn't they come back and play, that maybe the next 6 months they need to take a time out to recover. And if we can show that in real time, once again, our message is still very clear, Heather. The number one priority is the athlete's safety. And we want to remind everybody that.
Well, I just want to slow down a minute and process that. Because as a mom, I am one of those moms who was like, okay, if you want to play football, you got to be the kicker. Mm-hmm. Go on the field, kick the ball, and come back. Because like many parents, you want your children to have athletic experiences. But on the other hand, the significance of traumatic injuries. So having an appliance that can tell me in real time what's happening, now that's the game changer, Sig.
Yes, it is.
Game changer. And it's impressive that you're working with Dr. Asim Roy, the neurologist. And
yes.
Can you just share a little bit how you guys came together and
yes.
how you're unfolding that new product?
Yes. Dr. Asim Roy is a very well-known neurologist, and he has joined our team. He has the world's most sophisticated sensors, and his company is called Dionex. And Dionex and Xsport will be collaborating together to make the world's most sophisticated, safest mouthguard on the planet. The sensors, which is more than just one, will be embedded as the carbon fiber is in our mouthguard. It will help parents and coaches and trainers and such be able to monitor the athletes. And once again, if we know that any mouthguard, even our mouthguard, cannot eliminate concussions. But if we can reduce the chances and mitigate that, we're going in the right direction. And that's really what we're saying, is that many athletes already start at a very young age getting concussions over and over again. And we talked about this before the show. When one athlete, it doesn't matter what sport it is, when they get a concussion, a TBI, you are more susceptible of getting another one and then another one. And so what can we do? We cannot eliminate the problem. And we're saying we've come a long way with our prototypes and our testing, that we can recognize we can reduce the chances. And we're very eager to conclude this test at the Ohio State Mechanical Engineering Department, and they're going to do all the analysis and do all the write-up for us. And this independent test will really validate our product. And we're very proud of that and seeing that. And like I said, I would like to send those videos. And they're making a video on their own. And so once that is completely finalized, I like to show you the whole thing, not just a few clips here and there. But we're very proud of where we're going. And what's very exciting, in May, we're coming out with a brand new version. It's going to be the world's first quadruple layer, 3D printed, carbon fiber mouth guard. And we'll have to go through the same testing.
So Sig, I'm going to talk about that thing you just mentioned, but bear with me. Let's go back to the sensor.
Yes.
When my child is wearing a mouth guard and
yes,
a sensor or sensors in it,
yes,
what will alert me? Will I have an app on my phone, or what will
yes,
tell me what's happening in real time?
It'll show colors, red, blue, maybe even yellow, and that'll be you'll be able to, parents, coaches, trainers, they'll be able to see what that hit and what kind of trauma that athlete experienced at any level, at any sport. And so no more going to the sidelines and the trainer or the coach asking, how many fingers am I holding up? That's complete nonsense. That means absolutely nothing. Or they get up and maybe 5-10 minutes they're saying, oh, I'm good, put me back in. And many times they put them right back in, or they come back in the second half after maybe 15-20 minutes.
So see, I'm drilling down again. I will, as a coach or a parent or whoever, once this person gets the hit and they're wearing the sensor, I can physically look at the sensor and see the color change, and then
you'll be able to look at your phone.
Okay, so that's
and the phone will show you the colors, and the color sequence will determine then what kind of hit that was. Is it something that we need to monitor? Is it something that we really have to buckle down and say that was a vicious hit, little Johnny, little Susie, or whoever, right? They're not coming back. Not only are they coming back in the second half, maybe in the next 6 to 8 months, they will have to sit out because
we're taking the guessing out of this.
Correct.
We are saying that we are entrusting our kids, our athletes, with a product that literally takes care of them, because it can say in real time how hard a hit that they've received, and we will know in real time what to do.
Yes, exactly. And at the end of the game, ultimately, we're saving lives.
Absolutely.
Look what happened just a couple of months ago. The legendary quarterback Brett Favre went to Capitol Hill and talked about that he's suffering now from Parkinson's disease that is linked to how many times he has been hit over and over and over again. And so that's sad. That is absolutely sad. What can we do? We cannot maybe stop that, but we can definitely make a dent and try to reduce that possibility.
Well, and to you stepping up to the plate, because it's not a new problem. I can't remember the movie that was made that focused on how many athletes.
Yes. And that movie, I think that movie that you're referring to was with Will Smith, and the movie was called Concussions. And it shows so many major football players having problems as they were getting older. And they really weren't that old. This happened to, some of these athletes were already in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And it was anybody that hasn't seen that movie, it really wakes you up to what's reality.
That's the truth. So now, that is such a clear understanding of those sensors. And those sensors, for me, do it. Because everybody wants to be able to really properly assess the health of a player or an athlete in real time to know what is best for them. So that is awesome. That you are filling a gap that has needed to be filled for a very long time. So thank you.
Yeah. And if you think that's exciting, we are working, I cannot drop the name, but we are working with a major UFC fighter who is a major trainer to a huge celebrity that right now I'm not allowed to mention, but that the whole planet knows. And they will be connecting us to their contacts. There's something that's coming out called the Smart Cage. And the Smart Cage with their technology can connect with our technology of Xsport, and your pay-per-view and your live audiences at boxing or UFC fights will be able to see when Mike Tyson, for instance, hits whoever his next opponent would be, as an example. They will be able to see how the impact and what that means then in real time. When he hits somebody, right? What kind of hit is that? They'll be able to see that using the Smart Cage. And if they hit somebody wearing an Xsport Mouthguard with our sensors, then they will be able to see what kind of oral trauma and or facial trauma from the head has just occurred. And if that fighter goes down in UFC or in boxing, it doesn't matter, they'll be able to see what really happened. And so that's really exciting. So this is all coming up, and we're very excited to be working with some of these top companies.
That is awesome. So I'm going to skip a little bit and go back to something that you mentioned, which is the world's first, finish it for me.
The world's first OrthoGuard, the world's first mouth guard that can fit over any braces configurations, okay? And there's many young people, many young athletes that are going to the orthodontist, and let's just face it, it's very expensive. And most of the time, I know this, I had two girls, most of the time the parents are paying for the braces, right? The ortho work. And many of those young athletes are playing sports, and it does not take much, whether you're playing basketball, lacrosse, football, it doesn't matter. You take a hit, and it doesn't really have to be that much. You can get cut up, even to the point where you can actually damage the braces, mangle them. And then what happens? You have to go back to the orthodontist. He has to straighten that out. You have the trauma, experience the trauma. And then, obviously it's going to be very expensive again. It's not unheard of, Heather, for a parents to spend on one athlete, $8,500, $9,500, depending upon, treatment plan, right? 2 years, 3 years, and maybe upwards to longer than that. So the treatment planning will vary depending upon the patient. But I can tell you many young athletes are wearing braces and participating in sports. So what can we do? So the OrthoGuard, we work with an orthodontist, and we were able to make the mouth guard over any configuration. And so we can change the inside layer of the mouth guard as their teeth change. And so that's something that we have to work with an orthodontist with, correct? And we're doing three things, Heather. We're protecting little Bobby and little Susie from trauma. We're protecting mom and dad's interests because they're paying for the ortho work. And we have just created a new line of revenue for the orthodontist at that particular point. So that's a win-win-win situation all around. So that's very exciting. That came out over a year ago. And that's something we have to work very closely with the orthodontist.
Yes. So I see so many answers in your mouth guard that people have wanted to have, but there just wasn't anything there.
Correct.
So I'm really excited about this product. But there's one thing more you haven't elaborated on. I hear that you're not moving from 2 to 3, but 3 to 4 layers.
Yes, we're adding a very, very durable material over the occlusal portion of the mouth guard, over the top of the mouth guard. And this material, which I can't mention right now, this material not only gives an extra layer of protection, it is a cushion. So many athletes, whether it's boxing or football or any contact sports, lacrosse, they can clench down right before impact, right? And there'll be a cushion when the lower teeth meet the upper teeth. And it'll give them a nice cushion to clench down and give them an extra layer of protection all at the same time. So it'll be very comfortable for them. And so we're very proud of this new product coming out. We're hoping sometime in May, we'll have our first prototype. But it'll be another, just like cars, like the Mercedes, BMW. They have, the 7 Series, the 5 Series, the 3 Series. So there'll be choices for the consumer.
Awesome. So I am going to ensure, Sig, that our listeners or our viewers, depending on how they're contacting or how they're connecting with us, can see the link to your website so that they can go on and just feast on all the goodness that you've shared with us to concretize all the things that you've shared today. Now, Sig, we always have a little fun before we leave our podcast.
Yes.
So I have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
I hope I am.
Listen, last time it was enjoyable because I learned about your relationship with the magician.
Yeah, oh, yes.
And so let's go again. Let's see what new stuff I can learn about you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to a Caribbean island? And if so, which one?
Well, I consider this island almost home away from home. I frequent it a lot, and I love this island and the people and their culture. I've been to Puerto Rico millions of times, and I consider it almost my second home.
Okay, Puerto Rico is okay, but it can't compare to Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've done a lot of homework through the years, and I'm a big reggae person. I love Bob Marley and know a lot of history and the families and all the offsprings. And I'm very, very looking forward to coming and visiting you and learning the culture more and experiencing the beauty that you have in your backyard.
We're looking forward to having you. I invited you before. The invitation still stands open.
Thank you.
Sig, what's your favorite footwear? Your favorite thing that you like to wear?
My footwear?
Yep.
Favorite footwear will probably be my tennis shoes. I do a lot of exercise and running, and you find me wearing those because of how comfortable they are. So I guess I would say that.
Okay. What superhero would you like to be? There's so many movies out about superheroes. Choose one.
I guess Superman, because he he can fly, right? So I always thought that was fascinating. Growing up and seeing Clark Kent, get into his costume and then flying.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to let you off the hook. But I want to tell you, it's been wonderful conversing with you.
Thank you.
Once again, our audience has learned so much about this fantastic product that is durable, that is affordable, that will allow kids proper protection even when they're wearing orthodontic appliances. I am intrigued about the sensors that allow people in real time to determine how healthy or how unwell an athlete is in the moment, to make sure that they get the type of care that they need. And looking forward to that fourth layer coming out maybe in about May, so that the athletes will be able to bite down a little bit more and still have that cushiony support.
Yes.
Thank you so much for giving us some of your time, Mr. Xsport.
Yeah, thank you so much, Heather, for having me on the show. And anybody that would like to look us up, we welcome them to our website. Is the letter X Sport Mouthguards, and look us up. And we have many athletes wearing our product, and you can listen to some of their testimonials as well and get more info.
You will post the link. He's also on IG, guys. So look him up, Xsport.
Xsportmouthguards.com.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Sig. You have to commit to coming back another time.
I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate that. Once again, it's a pleasure always seeing you. And yes, we'll make some plans to come down to the beautiful island of Jamaica.
All right.
Thank you.
Things that Sig brought to our attention. But of course, I made no secret of the fact that the sensors did it for me. Because if you can see in real time how healthy or how unhealthy the athlete is, it's going to be a life changer. It is going to be the thing that is the difference between whether parents say, yes, this child can do this sport or not. And orthodontics, how many young adults do you see wearing braces, right? And there is a certain degree of heightened trauma that can take place with an athlete or team member who's not wearing a proper protective gear when they're wearing an orthodontic appliance, a fixed appliance. So that's a game changer. And listening to see that fourth layer is going to be added. Wow. Listen, he said Puerto Rico over Jamaica, but I'm going to forgive him because this product is super fantastic. I can't imagine a hockey puck with 16 pounds added to it is injured. That's not the right word, but that's what I'm going with. And the mouth guard is untouched. And that thing is as light as a feather because of the carbon fibers. Anyway, remember to like, subscribe. Remember, life is better when we live, learn, and grow together. I'll see you the next time.